also very sorry to repeat something I've said many times, how embarrassed I am. And don't take me wrong, it's an honor, a great honor, and it's of course a great pleasure to be here tonight. But still, I can't make peace with the fact that what should have been the norm is an exception. And I have to tell you, as far as we are here behind closed doors, and nobody will hear this, that what I felt in front of so much reluctance and so many refusals coming from so far richer countries to open the doors for the Afghans has only one name: shame. And so many people ask me why Albania would do this, why I would take this decision. And maybe there are people also in this room that wonder why, how comes that one of the poorest countries in Europe became the first country to open the doors to people that were struggling between life and death. And the answer to this question is in our history, a history that is a history of hospitality, a history of respect towards people in need, a history that is embodied in our first constitution, the canon of the Albanians, where is written that the house of the Albanians belong to God and the guest. But the guest, meaning not simply the one you invite, but the one that knocks at your door because has a need. And based on this canon, the knock at the door is the will of God, and you have to open the door. And whoever is behind the door has to be sheltered, has to be taken care of, has to be protected. And maybe in this belongs also the reason why Albania was the only country in Europe to have more Jews after the war than before the war. A country where no single Jew, no one, was delivered to the Nazis. And in such tragic times when Jews were leaving from their homes everywhere in Europe, Albania became the place where Jews were coming, not living, coming to be protected. And there is a story among many that I want to share with you about the four religious leaders of our country, which is very often told to be a Muslim country. But no, we are a country where Muslims and Christians live together in full respect of each other. And the four leaders that were invited in Berlin by the guy who was on the head of the final solution operation were representing the four communities, religious communities of Albania the Catholic Christians, the Orthodox Christians, the Sunni Muslims, and the Bektashi Albanian Muslims. And they were asked to sign an agreement with the Third Reich with 2 points: to allow the Nazi regime to have access on the Albanian gold, which was at that time in the Bank of Rome, and to cooperate with the Nazi regime in catching the Jews. They signed the gold, they didn't sign the Jews. And so it went on, the story, to continue with us being refugees, leaving our country, escaping not a fundamentalist religious regime like the Taliban's, but an atheist regime which dared to put in our constitution that the Republic of Albania is an atheist republic, where religions were completely banned, where life was a hell, and the country was North Korea of Europe at that time. So we left the country to find refuge elsewhere 30 years ago. And when the Afghans had to leave the country to find refuge and escape death, how could we possibly say no? How could we possibly not open the door? And how could we